about your audition with Jay-Z? Tell me what he said to you.
A really good audition.
And what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it one more.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
Thank you.
I want you to think about this. Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up beyond struggling. He was struggling.
In the beginning of my career, I remember on the replay, started doing really well. Change who you are, always remain humble, the same, and it kind of rings in my ears. Like every day I hear that, and it stuck with me, and I have a lot to be grateful for.
For years, the story of Rihanna and Jay-Z has been told like a success blueprint. A young girl from Barbados, a powerful industry mentor, and a career that changed music forever. But what if that story isn't complete? Because now, something unexpected is happening. Jaguar Wright, a voice the industry once ignored, is making explosive claims again. This time, about Rihanna, Jay-Z, and what she believes really happened behind closed doors. And now, 50 Cent is stepping in. Not just as an observer, but as someone who has been openly reacting, questioning, and amplifying parts of this conversation. He's known for speaking when others stay silent. And in this situation, he's not holding back. So tonight, we're breaking this down carefully. What is documented? What is alleged? What 50 Cent is reacting to? And why this entire story is suddenly gaining momentum again.
20 years. So that was the 4th of July, and that's when he was with Jennifer Lopez. He had a barbecue. You know, we were all staying in one house, me, Aaliyah, Jay, a couple of friends. That night, no one knew who Aaliyah was with, and that's how we wanted it. You know, because at the time, her and I, you know, we hadn't like actually gone there like that yet, and you know, me and Homeboy was both trying. So no one knew who was messing with who. And, you know, that night we left early. I left with Aaliyah. And that's the night that the magic happened.
I have very little time, so I need to know ahead of time, should I get a bridesmaid dress ready for your wedding with Jay-Z? Are you marrying Jay-Z?
I'm not engaged.
You're not engaged?
I'm not. It's a big fat rumor.
It is, but do you think it's a possibility that you will be engaged?
One day I hope to be married, you know, eventually with children. I grew up with both of my parents and my sister, a big family. It's important to me, so I'd love to have a family.
Yeah, and so when will you and Jay-Z get married then?
I don't know.
Y'all seem like a great couple.
Thank you.
Let's start with what we actually know. Rihanna's rise is not a mystery. She auditioned for Def Jam as a teenager, met Jay-Z, and quickly secured a deal. That part is well documented. But over time, certain details started sounding different. The long meeting, the pressure to sign, the now famous door or window comment. For years, it sounded like industry bravado. Today, some people hear something else. Not proof, but pressure. And this is exactly where Jaguar Wright enters the conversation.
This young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. You know, some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you may get robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category. Oh, no, was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
That time, correct?
15-year-old girl
who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it, and the 6 hours that she spent with him, and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up to the next day to come and collect the check.
Well, and there's
this is her life.
The rumors were even beyond that, right? That Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was
Very
17
so.
Is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then
Have
had
you
to
spoken
apologize.
to my friend Jonathan Hay? You should talk to Jonathan.
Now here's where things shift. Because Jaguar isn't just revisiting the story, she's reframing it completely. According to her, Rihanna's story wasn't just mentorship, it was control. Now, these are allegations, but what's making this different now is not just what Jaguar is saying, it's who
And
is
the next
reacting.
thing you know, she was removed from that first team from Palm the Replay and replaced with all new handlers and kept sheltered in Los Angeles, where she was going out to parties and partying at 15, 16, 17 years old, hanging out at the Rainbow Room, hanging out. Yeah, like it was one of my friends who found out she was 17 when everyone thought she was 21. And he was like, yo, why do y'all got me carrying this girl around? And she's, oh, it's cool, it's cool.
Well, but just to echo and support you, like they had to debunk that. Oh, we apologize. It wasn't real. We made it up in hopes of giving her single a boost.
Yeah, they
like,
promised
what?
Jonathan a deal working at Tidal and something, and then they reneged. And then the next thing you know, he was caught in a home invasion robbery while he was working on the Drake secret baby mama story,
Jeez.
Sophie. He was duct taped him and his daughter, and he was pow whipped in front of his child. So, you know, there's a lot that goes on in the backdrop. He's been evading, but the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not, but she was around. And she's very, she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I
look,
will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
CSD, you made a comment about this. Like, this was from a Super Bowl appearance more recently. This bothered you, seeing her put the Rockefellers logo out there.
If you
what
go
was your
back
instinct to that?
and watch, it was almost as if she didn't want to put her hands up, and then she looked over where Jay-Z's box was, and then you just see her hand. She look at her. She's looking at his box. She didn't want to do it. She didn't even want to do that gig. But the hold, especially the financial hold with the companies and all of the money and all of the strings that he pulled to. He treats these women like shell corporations.
Is that why this happened? Do you have any insight on this infamous elevator video where Solange was seen just unloading on him? Beyonce's there as well.
What I will say is, right there, that's the moment when he told her to back up and called her Tito Jackson.
Respect
There was-
and love to Tito Jackson, who we just lost recently.
I know. Tito
Legend,
could never
yeah.
get a break. And he's the nicest guy.
But here,
yeah,
Jay-Z
there
trying to
was-
mimic, she's not worthy, she's nobody, is what he's trying to do.
Pretty
And this
much is what he pretty much said to her. But the thing is there was infidelity that was happening that night. Both of them got caught doing things they weren't supposed to do. I believe there might have been some DV that happened. And people who know Mr. Carter knows he doesn't have a problem with putting his hands on his wife. Plenty of people know that to be true. Solange is different. Allegedly, Solange is different. She's old school Southern, and she loves her big sister, even when her big sister makes mistakes. She stood up for her sister. The most interesting thing about that, though, can we look at that one more time, Andy? They come in, and all of this. And then look, it almost looks like he's going to defend himself, but instead he prostrates himself, right? He lets Solange go nuts, and then he sits there and acts. He knows that camera's there. He knows where all the cameras are in that place. There's another footage, and I'll get it and I'll send it to you, of him with another woman approaching him aggressively, or it seemed like aggressively, and he's the crap out of her. Matter of fact, there's at least 5 different shows over the course of the past 15 years where he has physically attacked women that came into his space that he didn't want anywhere near him. So I find it funny that in all those other instances, he had no problem with putting his hands on a woman to so-called defend himself. But when he's getting killed alive with cameras there, all of a sudden now he's meek and mild. I think that was a setup. I think he did that specifically.
And then comes 50 Cent. Over the years, 50 Cent has built a reputation for doing one thing consistently: calling out the industry, publicly. Whether it's Sean Combs or other major figures, he doesn't stay quiet. And when Jaguar Wright's interviews started circulating again, he didn't ignore them. Instead, he reacted in a way only 50 Cent can. Sometimes joking, sometimes sarcastic, but always paying attention. And that matters, because 50 Cent doesn't attach himself to narratives randomly. When he reacts, it usually means one thing. Something about the situation feels off.
To hand
others mistreat her.
Okay. The person who leaked the security video of Solange attacking Jay-Z was found and then fired. Reportedly, it was a female security guard. And she didn't take the tape from the hotel security system. She recorded it on her cell phone. Well, that was smart, though, because I mean, I'd be thinking about just take the tape. So that was smart. The less than smart thing is that it took her 5 days. She shopped it around for 5 days before she got, some dough for it. Finally, it was TMZ who bought the video. Originally, it was reported that whoever sold it for $250,000, but now there's some discrepancy in the amount of money. Some people are saying $50,000, some are saying $100,000, others are saying $250,000. Either way, now she's going to lose it all because now the Standard's going to sue her. They've hired a high-priced lawyer to go after this security guard girl, and now she can never be, I guess, a security person again since she's a security breach.
On television.
I am strong. This happened to me. I didn't cause this. I didn't do it. This happened to me, and it can happen to anybody. There are a lot of women who've experienced what I did, but not in the public. So it made it really difficult. I just felt like, oh my God, here goes my little bit of privacy. Just exposed, like it's something that nobody wants anybody to know. So here I am, the whole world knowing.
Why be ashamed?
Because I didn't want people to think that that's the kind of person I fell in love with that person. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing that that's the type of person that I fell in love with. So far in love, so unconditional that I went back.
On average, I think it takes a woman 7 times before she leaves.
8 or 9, actually. And I don't want that to happen. That's not what I want to teach people. But again, people, I'm a human being, and people put me on a very unrealistic pedestal and all these expectations. I'm not perfect. Also, it's pretty natural for that to be the first reaction. It's completely normal to go back. You start lying to yourself. The minute the physical wounds go away, you want this thing to go away. This is a memory you don't want to have ever again.
Now, let's be clear. 50 Cent is not confirming Jaguar's claims. He's not presenting evidence. But what he is doing is amplifying the conversation. And in today's media environment, that's powerful. Because once a figure like him starts engaging with a narrative, millions of people start paying attention. And that's exactly what's happening here.
Couldn't be held responsible for telling them, go back. Chris, even if Chris never hit me again, who's to say that their boyfriend won't? Who's to say that they won't?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
And shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
We need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jag, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary aneurysm, just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the are these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is you. And the boss's boss don't get no. Can't go to the authorities.
Another key piece of this story is perception. Because Rihanna was very young when all of this began. And that alone creates a dynamic that people today look at very differently than they did back then. In the early 2000s, this was normal industry behavior. Today, it raises questions. Not conclusions, but questions. And Jaguar Wright is leaning into those questions heavily.
For 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
And, you know, I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And, you know, 4 months later, In the Club hit, and it was over. And it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tidal wave out.
This is where 50 Cent's reaction becomes even more interesting, because he understands something most people don't. The music industry has always been built on narratives. Some real, some exaggerated, some completely manufactured. And when he sees old stories being revisited, he doesn't just react to the claims. He reacts to the system behind them. The same system that creates stars, controls stories, and sometimes rewrites history.
And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like the gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So
this.
now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, their heartbreak, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself, like that.
And this is where the story gets complicated. Because now it's no longer just Jaguar Wright talking. It's people saying they've heard things, seen things, or experienced things, but aren't ready to speak publicly. Now again, that's not proof, but it creates momentum. And momentum is what turns a story into a movement.
The award chose not to give me the trophies. If you look at even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, 1.
Moments like these, they become evidence in the eyes of the public. Not legal evidence, but emotional evidence. And once people start reinterpreting old clips through a new lens, everything changes.
First of all, that vote is fake as f***. That's not a real vote. That's not a real vote. They give it to who they want to give it to. They give it to their darlings.
Cowboy Carter. Beyonce.
I guarantee you that the people from the Grammys was on the phone with Beyonce's people or Jay-Z's people.
They got all the trophies, man, because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyonce.
She want to thank everybody for her first Grammy.
Anyway, I'd like to thank Jay-Z for being a part of this record with me.
She like to thank Jigga Man for being the greatest in the world.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. He started getting Grammys left and right, man.
The kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet.
So what's the truth? Right now, we don't have all the answers. We have interviews, old footage, reactions, allegations, and a growing audience that no longer blindly trusts the industry. What we do know is this. When voices like Jaguar Wright speak, and voices like 50 Cent react, the conversation doesn't disappear. It grows. And in today's world, sometimes that's enough to change everything.